I think I've not been faithful to that course of trying to find, and the reason is because I've put out notices in communities where I've been. I've spoken to a few people, and it just seemed like the people who were applying to be my EA, number one, either didn't know me enough, meaning that they had not read anything about me, and I'm like, I need an EA to make my life easy.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're not going to make my life easy, and I sort of have to introduce who I am to you, that's already a red flag for me. And the reason that's important for me is because everything about my professional life in terms of the work I do and how I do it is really available online. So if I've been that open, either about my work in trying to encourage younger people in the profession to come in, or just to share my knowledge so that entrepreneurs and business executives can know a bit more about how to apply public relations and communications to their work, then I'd expect really that anybody who wants to work with me already has that background. But even much more important is the person who is going to literally be my right-hand person. You certainly should already know a bit about what I do. And then how you can really make my life easier. So in 2022, when I decided to renew my search again for an executive assistant, I put out this post on one of my groups, and I said, I wanted an EA. Bottom line, somebody who will just make my professional life easy. So there are lots of moving parts in the things that I do, and several projects that I'm working on. And I just needed somebody whose head is more organized than I am, right? And then I said all of that, and then of course people shared with their network, people that they felt would be able to do the work. And people told me, my sister has sent an email. My brother, anybody really, I sent an email, totally consider. And I looked at all the emails, and I'm like, no, these ones don't fit the profile at all. So they were either applying to work with me, and the question really was simple. In terms of the application, what were you supposed to do? I didn't need a CV, honestly. I needed you to be active on LinkedIn. My entire business happens on LinkedIn. So if you don't understand LinkedIn as an individual, there's no platform for engagement, right? It wouldn't even work. And then I say, it's a simple essay. Just tell me how you can make my life easy. Now, there is absolutely no way you will be able to answer that question if you don't know me. And the path to knowing me really is just read a bit about me. Very straightforward. Research. Do extensive research, really, about this person. And of the maybe 15 to 20 applications that I got, not one person had either took time to do the research, or they just were not convincing enough. Now, fundamentally for me, I think the first thing, not one person. I think I got about 17 applications, and again, because I'm so busy, I honestly, which is bad on my part, but I just didn't have the time. I couldn't reach back to everybody to say, budget. So that didn't go well, and then I just went back to figuring it out my own way and jumping the ball in some instances. Talking about, in terms of skills and qualities that I need in an EA, first most important is organizing skill. My calendar sometimes can be a mess. I'm working on a book project with an international researcher, and we're just trying to figure out, so we need to do some interviews and focus groups, right? And so what we typically do before we fix that appointment is that we look at both our calendars. And this lady is so in tune with her calendar. If I ask her, when are you going to be free next week? The next thing she's doing is she's opening up her Google Calendar to check. And first of all, so that's fantastic, obviously. But in my continuous interaction with her, I found that. And I had to tell her one day that, this is fantastic, first of all. Sometimes I think my brain is so sharp, I just fix appointment based on, what do I have today, what do I have tomorrow? And then I just wing it like that. And then in one instance, I had done like 3 bookings at the same time on the same day. And that's when I knew that my brain is not as sharp as I expect. And it's just really a phone call away. So that didn't quite work. And obviously, so I just, in terms of skills, superb organizing skill. This person would literally be in charge of organizing the executive's professional life. My calendar, I have a meeting. Guess what? Let me confess. So this meeting, of course, you told me about it before, but I try to keep my weekend work-free, absolutely work-free. I sleep a lot. I read novels on my phone, and I'm just off, and I just sleep.
Yes.
And then you called me, and I'm like, wait, is this happening? So one of the things I would expect my EAs to do really is to nudge me when I have meetings, because I'll tell you, yes, I'm available, but sometimes things happen.
Yes.
And you just lose track of time. So I mean, if I had an EA,
thank you again for honoring the invite on a weekend.
Sure. Okay, you're my guy now. I wouldn't have told you no, like I told you. Yeah. So one of the things I would require an EA to do really just to nudge ahead of meetings. And then another part of it, which is critical for my life also, is preparing meeting notes. So I have this excellent colleague who, when I get invitations like this, yes, she's a fantastic lady, fantastic. So when I have invitations like this, I just tell her the topic, right? In fact, I just push everything to her. Babe, please, I'm going to speak on this date at this time. Research. She sorts everything out. The research, the data, the statistics I need. Yes. She put all the documentation together, and I just go, you see Tolu as the one speaking, but somebody has done an extensive, excellent work putting that background information together. So this person, for an EA who is interested in doing this as a career, you must love research, right? You are literally the backbone of your executive. Yes. You're providing statistics and data to them. You have those numbers at the tip of your hands, right? Yes. And that again goes back to how you must research this executive. What do they like to do? What's their project focus? What's their work focused about? Is this something you are passionate about? Yes. If you're not, it's going to be a bit difficult for you to really have a lot of impact in their career. So I've talked about organization, and I've talked about research. Very critical.
Yes.
Yeah, very critical. And then, of course, the other thing for me would be email management. So again, there's just so many things. Yes. Of course, after a while, I expect that an EA would already know the way I write. For example, I don't use abbreviations in writing, right? Especially in email official correspondence. Right. So you wouldn't get an email from me where I say don't, won't, can't, words like that. So contractions like that, I wouldn't use it. So an EA ideally would be able to manage my email correspondences on my behalf, and nobody would know that I'm not the one who is writing, because this person already understands the way I write and can write like me. So managing emails and just closing out information, really, not deals, but just closing out information, and then the ability to write. I mean, that's a given. Yes, right? Absolutely. You must be that's a given. Absolutely. That's the beginning of everything. Because in any case, if you're going to apply for an EA role, you have to write something, right? It's not just by speaking. It's good if you have a good command of English. I mean, also important. But the ability to write is even more important than the ability to speak proper English, right? Because I can decide that you don't have to speak to anybody. If you're speaking to me, it's also important. So I mean, you know how to speak English as well. But writing is absolutely critical. You must be superb in writing. It would be nice if you like to read novels as well. I like to read novels. Just to gist. I mean, I had one experiment with a lady who eventually became my EA. Fantastically, and she had a background in statistics, not even in communication. She did well. I mean, we're still together. Sometimes she just, and you know, your EA ideally will be able to gas you up as well. Go to this my EA lady was just she was just really smart, right? So organizing, email correspondent, know how to write properly, research, critical for excellence and success in the role. And then be a personable person. I'm in communications. I'm an introvert, but then on the job requires that I be an extrovert. But outside of that, I'm really a homebody and just insights. When I'm in, it'll be good. When I have to do the job and put out that extrovertedness in myself, it'll be good to have somebody who is like
an ambivert,
who also has that type of personality. Right, so that you're personable. If people reached out to you, they know that if they needed to look on to do something, you're likely the go-to person to make it happen.
Well, you said a lot, and it almost seems as though you've just covered the 15 minutes, and we don't have any more time. But I'm just gonna ask you a few more questions before we wrap up. Again, this is 15 Minutes with Wave. My name is Kelvin. We do this every month, and we speak to our partners. And today we have a special guest who is sharing her expectations of a prospective executive assistant. Okay, so my other question is, in terms of positioning, where would you likely find a prospect? because you mentioned LinkedIn and then you mentioned maybe WhatsApp group or people's personal network. Where would you likely find a prospective EA? Where should they be?
Well, because I'm on LinkedIn, they should be on LinkedIn.
Okay.
It's a professional network. I mean, an executive assistant role is a professional role. So, I mean, all professionals, first of all, should be on LinkedIn.
Yes.
Right? I talk about that a lot. So certainly have your LinkedIn profile properly updated. I mean, if I got an EA, if I got an application and this person looks good, I'll definitely check them out on LinkedIn. If the profile doesn't really match, then I'm sorry, that wouldn't work.
Oh, okay, that's an expo. So if you're on this live and you are a prospective, you are applying to be an EA, so you've got an expo right there. Be on LinkedIn, be active on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Have a footprint on there. Final question would be, or how important is it to have a job description for an EA? How important is it?
Again, generally, all roles should have a job description. Give an idea of what this person is going to do. Critical. It sets expectations. Also helps you as the executive also understand what you need from this person. It helps you to clarify your thoughts. Sometimes we have wish lists as executives or as employers. I wish this person should be able to do this. Yes. But in documenting what your job, sorry.
Okay, fine.
I'm still here, don't worry.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, I got carried away. I'm here. Anyway, so in expecting what this person should do, in terms of your expectations from them, it helps you clarify your thoughts as well when you have to document it. So, critical, you should have a job description. If you don't, that already tells you the type of organization and executive you're working with. You may not quite laugh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. So we have just to throw it in there that we have a course coming up next week, actually next week Monday. We'll be training prospective executive assistants, and hopefully when they are done, they will be well equipped to come and apply to be your EA. And I think that will be the first step to assessing how ready and how prepared they are. So if you're on this session and you are wondering, okay, I would love to work with Tolu, please apply to the WAVE Executive Training Assistant Training course. We are training on a lot of the skills you just mentioned, and you will be well equipped for a prospective executive. Now, what I call a trivia question, or maybe a fun question, would be: what are your 3 destination countries? If you had to pick, what 3 countries would you pick to take off your bucket list, and why?
So first, I don't have a bucket list. I don't know what that means. Well, I mean, I know what it means, but
yes, okay, but what countries are special to you?
My destination country is New Zealand, so it will be nice to go there and actually see what happens.
Do you have a why? Do you have a why?
Do I have low crime rate? Low crime rate. It's it's one of those countries that people don't think about when you're thinking of, I want to travel and such. So I don't like to go to where many people go to. So if something is trending, I don't like it.
Yeah, you stay out.
I don't like it. So I mean, I spent a lot of time researching what countries there are, and of course, because I have a family, I was interested in countries with low crime rates. So New Zealand certainly.
Okay.
Any other country really that has good beaches? I've not anyone really. Okay. If you have a good beach and I can see the sand, then you have me.
Okay, so non-negotiable number 1 is New Zealand because of their low crime rate.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. So again, just tell us briefly about Mosro Communication. I know full well that the name Mosro is the combination of Moses and Aaron. Don't ask me how I know.
Yes.
I believe that's it, right?
Yes.
So I did my research.
Cool stuff. Well done.
Right. So briefly tell the listeners or viewers about Mosro Communications and how they can contact you.
And how they can contact me. First of all, I'm at Tolucoms everywhere online. Same profile picture, same name. So there's no mistaking who Tolucoms is anywhere. That's fun. And then Mosro Communications. We take our philosophy after the relationship between Moses and Aaron. Our clients are the one who own the vision, and they are Moses to us. They are Moses to us, and we are supporters to that vision in helping them actualize it. It's the vision that they articulate to us that will help them that will help them share with all their stakeholders and really tell an enthralling story that will get people to work with them or be loyal to their brand. We're a bespoke business to business and social impact focused public relations consulting firm. We are not an agency. We are consultants. We provide a lot of advisory for many of the CEOs and businesses that you have around. And we continue to grow. We offer services across sub-Saharan Africa.
Yes.
For organizations looking to come into the region and those operating already in the region. That's who we are.
Thank you so very much. Tolu comes of Mosron Communication. So please follow her. She's everywhere. Tolu comes everywhere, literally. Instagram, LinkedIn. I know full well that she's always on LinkedIn.
I'm always there. That's my office.